Hello and welcome to Levant TV headlines. Syria has accused UN Special Envoy Staffan de Mistura of bias and says his recent statements condemning deadly government airstrikes on Douma show he lacks objectivity. Iraq's former Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki has condemned as having no value a parliamentary panel's findings on the fall of Mosul to Islamic State, which called him and other top officials to stand trial for negligence. Jets from a Saudi-led coalition have struck Yemen's Red Sea port of Hodeidah, destroying cranes and warehouses at a main import hub for aid supplies to the country's north. Libya's internationally recognized government is urging fellow Arab countries to arm its military so it can face the expanding Islamic State affiliate in the country. And Turkey's main opposition, Republican People's Party, will not take part in an interim power-sharing government ahead of early elections if the pro-Kurdish opposition HDP declines to do so. Now let's take a look at the top headlines in today's newspapers in the Middle East. Starting with the UAE, the Khalij Times leads, reporting that leaders of the UAE and India pledged on Monday to coordinate efforts to counter terrorism and radicalization and misuse of religion, charting a historic new course in their strategic partnership for the 21st century. The paper also reports that heavy fighting between government loyalists and rebels for control of Yemen's third city, Taiz, has killed more than 80 people in the past 24 hours. From Lebanon, the Daily Star leads, reporting that 12 relatives of the 9 Lebanese servicemen being held by ISIS have met with the captives for the first time in 10 months on the country's northeastern border. The paper also reports that Free Patriotic Movement leader Michel Aoun continues to hold onto his stances, emphasizing that he demands real partnership in governing. The Egypt Independent leads, reporting that Egypt's evangelical Christians have declared support for a long-debated government draft law that regulates divorces and second marriages. The paper also reports that New Cairo prosecution services have released a photojournalist arrested while covering a trial session involving former President Mohamed Morsi, after security accused him of faking his journalist identity. Now let's take a look at the top Middle East headlines from the UK papers. The Telegraph leads its Middle East news, reporting that Ahmad al-Assir wanted over dedicashes with the army, had shaved off his bushy beard, swapped his wire-rimmed spectacles for thick plastic frames, and grown his hair into an unflattering comb-over. But not even a 70s-style makeover could help the fugitive Sunni Muslim cleric flee Lebanon as he tried to travel through Beirut airport to Nigeria. The Independent leads its Middle East news, reporting that the ISIS militant group has called for the people of Turkey to rise up and overthrow Satan, a reference to President Recep Erdogan in its first propaganda video responding to the formation of the US-Turkish military coalition. ISIS's video shows a fighter speaking to camera in Turkish who declares that President Erdogan has made his country a slave to the Crusaders. The Guardian leads its Middle East news, reporting that Israel has resumed construction of its section of its controversial separation wall in the Cremison Valley near Bethlehem, despite a court appearing to rule against further work on the barrier in April. The wall has been opposed by local Christian leaders and the Vatican, and critics claim its real purpose is not to increase security, but to allow settlement expansion. Now let's take a look at the top Middle East headlines in the international papers. From China, the Global Times reports that an Israeli court has postponed a request to release a Palestinian prisoner who has been going on a hunger strike for 2 months. Issa Karakia, chief of the Prisoners' Cooperation in the Palestine Liberation Organization, said that postponing the request to release the prisoner, Mohammed Alan, would endanger his life. And finally, Germany's Deutsche Welle reports that rights group Amnesty International says all sides fighting in Yemen's civil war have shown a ruthless disregard for civilian life, and their actions in killing innocent people could amount to war crimes. In the right group's latest report on the fighting in Yemen, presented in London, Amnesty said that all sides involved in the conflict had left a trail of civilian death and destruction, displaying a ruthless disregard for the safety of non-participants. And for more updates, please visit levant.tv. Thanks for watching. Be sure to join us again tomorrow. Bye for now.